Hi children, welcome back to your social science class. In the last class we started block 2 houses then and now, and we discussed why do we live in house and why do different people make different types of houses. That all we discussed in the last class. Today we are going to learn the houses in villages then and now. How was the houses in the villages earlier and now? What are the changes happened in the houses? Okay, so everybody need to take your textbook. Let us discuss a story. Okay, everybody take textbook page number 7. It is the story of Ram Swarup's house. That means the Ram Swarup's house, how it was in the earlier and how it is now. That we are going to learn from the story. Okay, so everybody listen carefully. After reading the story, we have to find out some important answers. Okay, I am Ram Swarup. I have been a farmer in a village for the last 35 years. So, I am Swarup. It is a person called Swarup. I have been a farmer. So, he is a farmer. Farmer in a village for the last 35 years. In the past few years, many things have changed in my village. So, in the past few years, some of the changes occurred in my village. Today, I live in a house made of bricks. So, what are the changes happened? Now we are going to discuss. So, now in which type of house he is living? Yes, now he used to live in a house made of bricks. My son, who works in the city, gave me money to build this house. So, who helped him to build this house? His son. How he helped? Because now his son is going to city for doing job. We know in the villages they cannot find more jobs because in the villages most of the people are depending on agriculture, farming, isn't it? So, in cities they are getting more job opportunities. So, his son went for job in cities and earning more money now. So, he gave money to build this house. Okay. 30 years ago, we lived in a hut made of mud. Okay. 30 years ago, how he lived? Yes, he lived in a hut which has built by my brother and I. So, some years before, that means 30 years before, he lived in a hut made by mud. Okay, which has built by he and his brother together. We made the roof with dry grass and branches of trees. Then how was the roof? Yes, it has thatched roof. By how it made? Yes, it has thatched roof made by dry grass and branches of trees. My mother would mix cow dung with mud for the floor. Then how was the floor made of? Yes, floor is made of mixing cow dung with mud for the floor. We had only one room to sleep, eat and cook. Yes, in that time they had only one room for sleeping, cooking and eating. My mother would cook on a chula. Chula means mud stove. Okay. I had to collect firewood every evening. So, firewood is needed for cooking food in the chula. Isn't it? That means mud stove. It is made by mud. So, every evening he has to go for collecting firewood. Today, we have a separate kitchen. Yes, then what happened today? What is the change came today? Yes, today we have separate kitchen. But my wife still cooks on the chula. Now also my wife is cooking food in chulas. And I still collect firewood. Still I am going for collecting firewood and my wife is cooking food in chula. Now also. We used to bath in a village well earlier. Earlier there were no bathroom in his home. He lived in hut, isn't it? Mud hut. So there were no bathroom. So where they used to bath? Yes, they went to village well for bathing. Okay. Then but now we have a bathroom. Now what change came? Yes, now they have bathroom. Okay. We still have water problem, but we have now also we have water problems. My wife has to collect from the well and the my wife has to collect water from well and hand pump. So now also my wife is going for collecting water from the well and hand pump. Earlier there was no electricity in the village. Then what is the another change? Yes, earlier there was no electricity in the village. Today I have a television set. Yes, what we can understand from this? Today they have electricity. So he has one television set at home. Many of my friends come to my house in the evening to watch television. So many of my friends are coming to my home for watching television in the evening. Okay, this is the story. Now what we have to do, children? We have to find out the differences. How we will find out the difference? How was the house of Ram Swaroop in the earlier and how it changed into how it changed now. Okay, that we are going to discuss. For that I am going to draw two columns. Okay, yes, so we can discuss the house of Ram Swaroop earlier, that means then and now. Okay, so then means earlier, how it was earlier. Earlier means we know 30 years before it is mentioned in the textbook. Okay, so everybody heard the story. Now we can discuss the house of Ram Swaroop in earlier and now. Okay, so first difference we can find. Yes, in the earlier, which type of house was Ram Swaroop's? Yes, in the picture we can see which type of house it is. Yes, it is mud hut. It is mud hut. Okay, mud hut. Okay, then which type of house is now? Now we can see, yes, it is made of bricks. It is made of bricks. So we can find the first difference between the houses in the earlier and now. Okay, so Ram Swaroop's house was mud hut. It is made of mud earlier. Okay, hut made by mud. Okay, then now how it changed? Now it is made of bricks. Okay, that is the one difference we can find. Then can you find any other difference between the houses earlier and now? Yes, second difference we can say that there were only one room, isn't it? Only one room for cooking, eating and sleeping. Okay, one room for cooking, one room for cooking, sleeping and eating. One room for cooking, sleeping and eating. Okay, sleeping and eating. Okay, that is the another difference. One room for cooking, sleeping and eating. But now how it changed? Yes, now they have separate kitchen. Okay, separate kitchen is there. Not only separate kitchen, they have separate bathrooms also, right? Separate bathrooms are there. Separate bathrooms. We know earlier they were they bathed? Yes, in the earlier they bathed from near the village. Okay, now they have separate bathrooms. Okay, then another change we can see, there were no electricity in earlier, isn't it? No electricity were there. No electricity. Okay, then what is now? Yes, now there is electricity. Okay, there is electricity. So some changes we can find from the from earlier to now, isn't it? This house of Ram Swaroop, how it changed from earlier then and now we find out. Okay, many differences we find. From this we can find some common thing. From common thing we heard from the story. Can you say, children, what are the common thing? Now also they are following then and now. Now also they are using, yes, chulas. They are using mud chula. So we can mud stove or chulas they are using. Okay, so we can find the difference. That's why we can find the common thing. Now also they are using chulas. Okay, and now also they are collecting water from well and hand pump. That also common thing we can find. Earlier also they were doing. Now also they are doing. Okay, so collecting water from well and hand pump now also. Okay, so that are the some common thing now also we can find now and then. So using earthen chula earlier and now. Now we discussed in the story his wife now also using earthen chula or mud chula for cooking food. And now also she is going for collecting water, isn't it, from well and hand. So these are the some differences we can find in the house of Ram Swarup in the earlier and now. That means how the houses in the village changed earlier and now. That is what we discussed now. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to take your workbook. Okay, so in the workbook, page number 15, houses in villages. Houses in villages. Okay, so what are the so houses in the villages? We can see two pictures. In the first question, we can see two houses, right? Then I will read the question. We see both these type of houses in Indian villages. Indian villages we can see these two kinds of houses. Tick the house that you think it is newer type of village house. So in the village house which is newer, this one is newer. Yes, very good. Second one, B is the newer type of house in the village. Okay. Then second question, what is different between the houses shown above? So you can see two pictures here. One is mud hut, isn't it? Another one is made of bricks. Okay, so what are the difference we can find? So first difference we can find here, it is made of mud. In the second column, second house, it is made of bricks, isn't it? Then second difference we can say that only one room for cooking, sleeping and eating. But here we can write there is separate kitchen and separate bathrooms. Like that we can write the differences. Okay. Then first house is small house. Few people only can live. In the second house it is bigger than first house. Isn't it? More people can live. Then we know first house it is not stronger, isn't it? But second house it is very stronger. It is stronger than mud house. Like that way you can find out the differences. Okay. Okay. Any two differences you can write. Write two things that may be same between these two houses. Can you find any similarities in these two houses, children? Yes, we can find that both houses the people can cook food, sleep, isn't it? So we can find out the both houses people can sleep and cook food. That is one similarity we can write. Then both house people may use mud stove or chulas. That we already discussed. In the both houses people may use mud stove or chulas. Okay, that are the same thing we can write. Okay, you can find out many other similarities also. Okay, now everybody take your textbook. Yes, we have to find out one question's answer in today's topic. The practice question, 7th question. How are mud huts different from brick houses? How are they similar? That is the question. So how is mud huts different from brick house? Yes, mud huts are made of mud. Brick house is made up of bricks. Okay. Then you can write mud house has thatched roof. Okay, made by leaves, grass, etc. or straws you can write. And you can write the mud house. Mud house is bricks house are stronger than mud house. That is one more difference. Then we know mud house is small house. Brick houses, the house made of bricks is bigger than mud house. Like that way you can write the differences, and you can write the similarity. How can you write the similarities? Yeah. Both houses are protecting us from heat, cold, wind. Like that way you can write. Okay, both of the houses are protecting us from heat, cold, dangerous animals. So like that way you can write the similarities also. Okay, so this much enough for today's class. Okay, so everybody need to complete your workbook and practice question. Okay, so we will meet in the next class.